We have a question from Stuart. How do you deal with muscle mass imbalances after injuries? Boy, this nothing new here, my friend. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they were all about, they love that symmetry. And I got to tell you, it's one of the hardest things to have, even without injuries. I broke my arm badly in 2003. So you're looking at 17, 18 years of dealing with this. So God bless you, man. And a recent DEXA scan shows that it's 1 kilo lighter than my other and noticeably smaller. My strength is fine and I train regularly, but my mass is very unbalanced. Okay, there's a couple things here first. Stuart, here's number one, is that there's a good chance this will never get fixed. Sorry. If you read Tom Meyer's great book, Anatomy Trains, he talks about these slings here, my left leg to my right arm and my right leg to my left arm. If you study my injuries, you'll notice that almost universally, my injury line is on my left arm sliding down through my right leg. So finger surgeries, double wrist surgery, elbow surgery, this hip, that knee, my right ankle with the arthritis. It's because all those years of throwing, I made my left leg extremely powerful because that's what you brace, that's where you block a throw, and of course my right arm coming around. When I retired from throwing, one of the first things I attempted to do was bring back my symmetry. And boy, this is tough. This is tough. Now, there is the old Arnold Method. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, made a movie or two, politician. I think he was a bodybuilder. His idea was that one day a week, by the way, this is still good advice, that you work on your asymmetrical, your less strong, your weaker side. And I got to tell you, if you have the time and energy to do that, that's not a bad idea. So pull a day apart and do your best to add a workout to it. In fact, it might not be a terrible idea. If you read Even Easier Strength, we have an entire, on variation 3 of the program, you focus a session every week on just the one side, and you play around with trying to build them up to symmetry. This brings us to point number 2, is whenever I do single side work, I always let the less strong side dictate the reps for the strong side. I think I've told this story before on this podcast, but there's a kettlebell called the Beast, which weighs 48 kilos or 106 pounds. At the San Jose Cert, and a lot of people saw it, Ben Fogel, my trainer, was there, other people, I pressed the Beast with my right arm 13 times. By the way, next time you're in a gym, pop the Beast up, knock out a set of 10 and see how good that is. With my left side, though, I can only do 2. Now, if I'm going to try to impress you, forget. I'm going to press with my right arm. If I'm trying to chase symmetry, or in your case, imbalance, I've got to get this from 2 to 3 to 5 to 6, and maybe even allow this to drop 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. I'll probably always be asymmetrical on my strength, but instead of being like this, wouldn't it be a little bit smarter for the health of my neck, my shoulder, my T-spine, to be a little bit more like this versus like that? Interesting thing, I don't know if you know about the functional movement screen, but when I was at that 13.2 level, I couldn't barely do the functional movement screen. Once I started to get those numbers in line, it's weird to say this, getting weaker, but getting stronger, my FMS score on that one improved. So I think both of those options might help you. a concentrated weekly session on that issue on the side. And yeah, I would train like a bodybuilder. Isolated lifts. If there is a compound movement, just one-sided. You say your arm and things are smaller. I just don't know. But one arm bench press, one arm press, the suspension trainer, the one arm row with the suspension trainer. Those would be your compound movements. Maybe using a machine might be some value. Try that for a few sessions. I would say do that for the next 3 to 6 weeks. Don't do another DEXA scan. Just take a look at that and see if there's any difference. And then when you do one-sided work, let the whatever arm it is, you didn't say that which arm either, but let the less strong side dictate the reps. Those are two really simple ideas, but it's a tough one. You're at 17, 18 years of this. That's a lot of time. If someone was born when you broke your wrist, they'd be a collegiate athlete right now. That's a lot of time, man. So I'm here to help you, Stuart. Try that for 3 to 6 weeks and then give us some feedback, okay? Remember, we need to know how this is working. I really appreciate your question, and I really hope that some of this helps you.